quarter over. Of course, not the first time that we've seen that. He said there was a particular action that you were trying to get to that seemed like it was working well. What was your diagnosis there, and how did that play out in the fourth?
Well, we were doing a lot of jostling with Memphis tonight, and just going back and forth. And 2-point lead here, or they're taking 1-point lead, or we're taking 1-point lead. So, it started the fourth. I want y'all to implement myself with my scoring a little bit more, get a little bit more in attack mode, and see if I can kind of open the game up. And we were able to do that.
Dan Morkey.
Hey, LeBron. You guys have won these last two games. Obviously, there's been good offense, but defensively, really, in a lot of different ways. What was the big key in the last three quarters tonight defensively? And do you like to see kind of that this group can win by outscoring teams or this way, too?
Yeah, we got to have the ability to be able to do win in all facets. Sometimes it's going to be outscoring teams. But for the majority, we want to win games by defending. When we defend, we rebound, we're able to get on a run and get in early in transition and either get fast break points or able to get into our early actions, give ourselves a lot of time on the offensive end. So, tonight was one of those instances after the first quarter where they had, I believe, 36 points or whatever the case may be. After that, they had 58 for the rest of the game. I think 56 or 58. But, it just shows what we're capable of, and we want to continue that going forward.
Dave?
LeBron, homecoming games, for lack of a better term, are such a big part of the NBA experience. You had one of the more remarkable ones when you first went back to Cleveland. Last year, you guys had that battle in New Orleans, making a comeback in AD's return. Can you comment or remark on the experience for Marc Gasol going back to Memphis for the first time in, what is such a different season?
I just hope that, when we get our fans back, that Marc can get another one, because he deserves it. What he did for this franchise over the course of those years, it was hell coming here playing him. Playing Marc and Zebo and TA, and the rest of that group, man, throughout those years, it was going to be a grind, as they would call it, the grindhouse. So, I truly hope that they re-show that video again when they get their fans back in here, because not only what he was able to do on the floor, he just meant so much off the floor as well. The guy actually, he even went to high school here for 2 years when Powell was playing in Memphis. So, he's been a part of this community for a long time.
All right, a couple more. Bill Orm.
Hey, LeBron. Coming into this season, there was a line of thinking externally that you would ease into the season, or you would pace yourself due to the nature of the season. And like with most things, when people say this is what LeBron should do or this is what LeBron's going to do, it so far doesn't seem to be the case. But are there ways in which you have paced yourself this season, or are pacing yourself right now, or do you just reject that line of thinking?
I continue to take care of my body and take care of my mind to be able to endure whatever the case may be. And obviously the short layoff, the 71 days between, us finishing and having to get back re-going, it definitely put a monkey wrench into my usual regimen of rest in my body and then getting back and going full, hard core on my training. I didn't really have that opportunity to kind of shut down my body and then go and revamp my body and get ready for the season. It just wasn't enough time. So, being able to, it's a fine line now where how much we push, how much rest, and also stay in good rhythm, because we have built, myself and our team, we built so much great rhythm in the bubble that, want to try to continue that as much as we can. So, for me, it's always about just having my mind and my body fresh. And if my mind is sharp, then I can go out and do whatever I need to do on the floor, and if it's not, then it hurts not only myself, but it hurts our team. So, that's the most important for me.
Last question, Kyle Goon.
LeBron, I guess there were a couple fans in San Antonio and then maybe more fans tonight. Does that register? What's sort of the gradient of having, I don't know, more than 1,000 fans versus having a full?
Well, it's a great feeling, to be honest, just to have anyone in the stands. It feels like it's been so long, since we had that, and it's been since March of 2020, since we, I think that last game at Staples when we played Brooklyn was the last time we had fans. So, to be able to come into an arena and just see a sprinkle or a dab of, fans here, in the lower bowl or, the mid bowl all the way to the upper bowl. Seeing a few of them sitting, I guess off side of court side. It's a beautiful feeling, and I hope, we can continue to build that and continue to even get back at some point where, we're packing the stadiums again. So obviously health comes first. Continue to follow the protocols and continue to be safe with everyone's family and things of that nature. But, sport is not sport without fans, and then without the yelling and the screaming and the support and all those things that go with it. So, very hopeful of that someday again.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Basket turn, still find the backboard. That's just unbelievable skill, man.
You got it? Ooh.
I can do that one.
And he can't get away from that, even though he still has to shoot the 5 threes that Frank Vogel wants him to shoot. That is a problem for opponents.
That was against Gorgie Jang, a very good defensive big man, too. And he was kind of just stumbling backwards. I mean, that was impressive.
Wesley Matthews scored 14 points in the win. He's speaking with Allie.
Obviously, you speak to that defense. I was just talking to Mark about it because it's now back-to-back games where you guys found your way to close things out on the defensive end of the floor. How would you describe where you guys are as a team right now, as that was a big part of the Laker identity last season, and it looks to be again this season?
Right. It's still a work in progress. I mean, we're not completely where we want to be and where we need to be in order to get to where we want to get to. But I mean, that's expected for the most part. I mean, it's not something that we're content with by any means. So we're realistic with the situation, but at the same time, knowing that we got to get better. And everybody's working at it. We're staying diligent in the film. Obviously, guys that have been here in the system last year are helping you guys like myself. And it's kind of on-the-job training when we're out there. And so we're just trying to make the most of every situation, and we're thankful that we can come away with wins while doing it.
One final point for me, because I think we've seen it a lot this season. It's been a lot of fun to watch. But, of course, you saw the way you guys started the game, and then Memphis had that run to close out the first quarter. It was THT, it was you, it was Trez. Keith put in a positive 10 off the bench as well. Is there an identity you guys are forming in that second unit in regards to what you guys want to live up to and be responsible for this team?
I mean, our job coming off the bench is to either extend the lead or cut into the deficit. That's always been my mentality on every team that I've been on. Obviously, coming off the bench is something that's new within the last this season for me. But that's always been the identity of every great team is when you go to the bench, you don't lose anything. You got to provide a spark. You got to be able to do something that either, like I said, either extends the lead or cuts into it. And so we got a lot of guys that can do a lot of different things, a lot of guys that can impact the game in different ways. And just going to continue to take time, continue to take games like this, road trips. Tough, you got to be able to win every kind of way.
Thanks, Wes.
Brad?
What's up, Wes?
What's going on?
Hey, man, when you're playing with AD, LeBron, Mark, and Dennis, are you trying to react to what they're doing? Are you just trying to find your favorite spots and then within to find you?
I mean, well, when you're playing with anybody, really, your job is to keep the floor as balanced and spaced as much as possible. Obviously, those guys are going to have the ball in their hands way more than I am. So my job is to make sure I space the floor correctly, but then find windows, find pockets. Obviously they're going to draw a lot of attention, and we got to make them play honest. So if you double team or your head's turned, I'm going to cut, I'm going to move. I'm rarely going to be in the same spot, and that's just how basketball has to be played. Last time I think the offense ran through me was my senior year. So I played off the ball a good deal in my basketball career. So it's not really anything new for me.
Dan?
Big game. This is why we don't judge a man after a couple of games. People very excited about Wes coming over. 3-point shooter, can defend. Starts out the year 0 for 8. Well, since then, big game. 10 of 14. He's shooting 46% on the season. And we've seen him on this road trip. He has been huge for this Laker team, especially tonight. But it's not just the threes. It's how he plays defense, how he fits. He knows how to space the floor. Like he said, big game. Been playing off ball since high school.
Yeah, and, to recognize that, look, they haven't ran the offense through me since high school. So he knows what his role is. And, you know, here's a guy that's been in the league for a little while. He's endured some injuries and had to overcome some of those, but has made his way back into good condition, Geeter. And even before, like you said, he was 0 for 8. I still was impressed with the way he was playing the game. He was hustling. His defensive, awareness was on point. And I knew it was just a matter of time. When you talk about scores and shot makers, yeah, it's going to go away sometime, but they'll always find a way to get their shot back. What I've been impressed with is his ability to continue to play team ball, continue to hustle on the defensive end, and play the game. And so